What's up, guys? It's March 24, 2025. I graduated medical school about a week ago, so I'm officially a doctor now. It doesn't feel real. The imposter syndrome definitely doesn't go away. And I haven't started residency yet. But technically I'm a doctor now. I'm an MD, so I guess that's cool. The other day, somebody at the offices of my medical school called me doctor and my last name. And I was like, yeah, you don't need to call me that. Because yeah. And so it doesn't feel real yet, but I think once I'm working long shifts in residency and waking up at 6 a.m., I'll start appreciating the respect that comes with, being called doctor. But the reason I'm making this video is because 2 days ago, I took my pill for radioactive iodine therapy. And because of that, I've been in isolation for the last 2 days. In fact, I've been cooped up in a hotel room for the past 2 days. And I thought this isolation would be good. Because I do have some things to do, like some residency onboarding stuff that I've been ignoring, like some online quizzes with ACLS, CPR stuff, BLS training, other things I have to do, get some vaccines done, things like that. So I have some things to do, some emails to send, but my work ethic has been pretty much zero since graduation. And I found that the last 2 days in the hotel room, I was pretty much just sitting around watching YouTube video after YouTube video of, one stupid thing over another. Yesterday was particularly a lazy day. I really hate the bugs here, man. But I told myself I need to get out. So, but I'm a public health hazard. Because I took this radioactive iodine pill 2 days ago. So I thought, where can I go? And I found this place without a lot of people. This is like a big river right outside of my city. And yeah, it's nice to get out. I like getting out now because I know I won't have much time to do it in residency. So yeah, the reason I want to talk about this radioactive iodine therapy, just like with all my other thyroid cancer videos, is because when I first got diagnosed with this papillary thyroid cancer, I was really, a million thoughts were racing in my head. And watching people's stories, not just their initial reaction stories, not just their surgery stories, but their 1 month out, 2 month out, just watching their videos, it really helped me feel better and see what this journey is like. And so I had my thyroidectomy, total thyroidectomy, on April 3, 2025, which was, today's May 24, so a little less than 2 months ago. And the reason we chose to do a total thyroidectomy really quickly is because the size of the nodule was really big. It was, I don't remember exactly, you would have to go back to my old videos, but I think it was about 7 centimeters. I mean, really, really big. I think more than 5 is really guaranteed. I mean, the guideline is to take out both sides if there's more than 5 centimeters. And then also, even with that, I was still hesitant to take out both sides because I really did not want to take this thyroid hormone for the rest of my life. I did not want my life to be dependent on a medication. But the surgeon said, well, what if, because this happens, what if after I take out your thyroid, you have lymph nodes underneath the thyroid with gross involvement of the cancer? And I agreed with her that at that point, we will take out both sides. There's some people back here, so I'm gonna move down. This is a pretty cool little notch here. But yeah, let's move down some more. It's pretty cool. So I'm like at the bottom of this cliff. Anyways, I was talking to my surgeon, and we said that if both sides, if there's gross involvement of the lymph nodes underneath the thyroid, then let's take out both sides. Because in that case, there's a probability that the thyroid cancer has spread beyond the lymph nodes. And for that, we would need chemotherapy, but not chemotherapy like chemotherapy light, like radioactive iodine therapy, which is what I'm having right now. And then the third thing, that third reason I had the total instead of the hemithyroidectomy was because about a couple days before my surgery, I got this lab result in that I had positive anti-TPO antibodies. In other words, I had underlying Graves' disease to the thyroid cancer. And that checks out because I had hyperthyroidism before the thyroid cancer. Just check out the waves here. Anyways, I got both sides out, and then got started on 137 milligrams of levothyroxine, and I've been handling it pretty well. And we decided to do that radioactive iodine therapy because not only because of the size, but also because underneath I had that gross involvement of lymph nodes, which was also confirmed on pathology. So for radioactive iodine therapy, about two and a half weeks before the actual therapy, they start you on this low iodine diet. And the thinking behind this diet is that, okay, so when you have radioactive iodine therapy, this pill, this radioactive iodine, is taken up primarily by your leftover thyroid tissue. So after you had the surgery, if there's leftover thyroid tissue in your thyroid bed or anywhere else in your body because of the cancer, the idea is that those thyroid cells would take up the radioactive iodine and die. And so the point of this low iodine diet is that if you're not eating enough iodine, then I'm not sure exactly how it works. I don't know if there's like iodine receptors or whatever, but the cells will become more hungry for iodine. They'll take up more iodine because your body is lacking it. I'm guessing they like upregulate receptors. I don't know exactly how they do it. So for that reason, two and a half weeks before the pill, you get started on this radioactive iodine therapy. You get started on this low iodine diet. And this low iodine diet, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's very annoying. Because you can't eat eggs, you can't eat chocolate, you can't eat dairy, so like any milk products, like ice cream. I've really been craving ice cream with this nice weather. And you can't be eating iodized salt, which is pretty much like most of the salt that's used. And so let me just go somewhere a little bit more quiet here. And so with not being able to eat iodized salt, that means that pretty much most fast food, is out of limits. Like you can't, like pretty much any fast food, because they use salt on their food. And I heard somewhere that like Chipotle and Panchero are okay, but even those, I didn't even eat those because they use beans, and beans also have a lot of iodine in them. And so these last 2.5 weeks have kind of sucked in terms of the diet. All I wanted was like, I don't know, to eat some cookies or something. And especially when I was still at the hospital, like during lunchtime, I didn't because normally I would go to like these internal medicine conferences at lunchtime to get their free lunch, but you know, during lunchtime when I was at the hospital, I would just be eating like Graham crackers or Belvita cookies or something like that. So yeah, I mean, the good side of the diet is that I've been avoiding pretty much all salty foods. In other words, basically all fast food and basically any food from outside of my home. I'm fortunate that I live with my parents and they make really good food without salt. But yeah, you know, dieting, if anybody diets, I have a lot of respect for them because it's not something I could do 12 months of the year. And this last 2 weeks has been annoying. I mean, I do fast, you know, 1 month every year, but it's not the same as dieting because at nighttime I still eat whatever I want. You know, that fasting is still harder though. But I mean, this diet has been annoying. That's all I'm saying. And the reason I fast is different than the reason I diet. And I can fast. You know, I'm comfortable with the suffering that comes with fasting because of the reason for it, compared to the struggle with this diet. But anyways, there's worse things than this diet. So then, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I had a scan, an iodine uptake scan. And on the iodine uptake scan, they showed that I had 0.72% uptake in my thyroid bed of iodine, like contrasted iodine, which means I have some thyroid tissue left behind from the surgery, which is only natural, right? Because if the surgeon takes out too much stuff, then that means she would have hurt other tissue. So, no problem at all there. And of course, the thyroid cancer could have spread as well. But, you know, there wasn't any uptake outside of the thyroid bed, any suspicious uptake outside of the thyroid bed on that scan. And so we're not too worried about like metastasis or anything like that. You know, there was uptake to the parotids and some other places where it normally goes. And so they gave me 100 mcg radioactive iodine pill. And I swallowed that, and they said that for 2 days you should be 6 feet away from like all human beings. And then after that, you just need to make sure you're not sharing like utensils and stuff. And for a week you should stay away from all children. And the reason for that is because your body, you know, has radiation, enough radiation that like when you're at airports, apparently scanners go off. But also it's not that bad because like after the first 2 days you should have peed pretty much all of it away, assuming you've drank a lot of water. So in terms of how I've been feeling since I took that pill, the first day after I took that pill, which was yesterday, you know, the morning after I took the pill, I had a lot of back pain. And I think that's just because my hotel is really crappy. I have this like, my bed is really uncomfortable, but maybe not. So, you know, it's still worth sharing. And then I also had like diarrhea when I woke up the first day, and it was like straight up bile, like it was, you know, liquid. Again, I don't know if that's because of the iodine pill or not, because it's not like an expected side effect. And right, so I haven't been eating fast food for like the last 2.5 weeks, but right after I took the pill, I was really craving fast food, even though you have to stay on the diet. And so I went to Taco Bell and I ate like a chicken cantina taco without the cheese. And so I don't know, maybe it's from that. Maybe that gave me diarrhea. I don't know. Otherwise, my salivary glands, and this radioactive iodine therapy is supposed to affect your salivary glands. I mean, for some people, it gives them dry mouth because the parotids, these salivary glands, take up a lot of iodine. I had some dry mouth yesterday, and my doctor advised me that the day after the pill is save your parotids day. And so, I was massaging my parotids and eating a lot of gum, um, eating Sour Patch Kids, like sour candy to, stimulate saliva. And I peed a lot because I was drinking so much water. But, today I'm better. Like, I don't have as much dry mouth, like 2 days after. I mean, I do right now because I've been talking, but not as much. So that's good. So yeah, overall, I'm feeling good. Besides that, like, nothing's really been annoying me. I mean, just I was bored in that hotel room for the past 2 days, so it's nice to come out here. So yeah, hopefully this will be my last like major update. My last important update on this thyroid cancer. There's a very small chance it'll come back in the future, so I have to keep tracking my thyroglobulin levels. And thyroglobulin is like the precursor to T3 and T4, like the main types of thyroid hormone, which is only made by thyroid tissue. So in the future, I'll be tracking my thyroglobulin levels to see if this cancer comes back or not. And I did actually have my thyroglobulin checked a couple days ago, and it was like, I think it was like, I forgot the units, but it was like 2. Like, it was 1.9, so it should be 0. But it's possible that some of it's just left over from the, from when I still had my thyroid. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I talk about this, and if anybody has questions or anything about this thyroid cancer and what it's been like, you can ask me, So yeah, you guys have a good one, and yeah.